Hello friends, my name is Ankit Agarwal. Today I will talk about creating a simple calculator program in ReactJS. Let's get started. So we will create this kind of project where the two text boxes are uh, provided as input and we can choose the any operation and the output would be displayed. First we'll create a blank project and we create this use this command. So our project is created with the name calculation program. So we can move into this directory. Then we need to run the npm install. This command is required to download the dependencies defined in the project. Now we can use this command to run the project. So the project is running now. Now instead of using this screen, uh, using this UI defined in this our project, we use our HTML. We will define our own HTML and do further changes for calculation program. So our code is defined in SRC folder, and this is the entry point of our application. So we will remove all the current code. So I've removed the existing code and just define a header with the text calculation program, and we'll see if it's visible on the UI. So here the calculation program is visible, but it is appearing in the below section. There is one CSS defined index.js CSS that is doing styling. So we will remove this index.css. Now our text is appearing in correct region. So let's write our we will define our code in the app.js. So instead of defining the code in the app.js, so we'll create a functional component First, we'll create our folder components with the name component folder. Then we create a file calculation. So I created uh, a functional component with the name calculation main.jsx. JSX is the extension we uh, use to associate with the React functional components. And here I am defining one import statement. This is optional, but I choose to import it in my programs. So there we define a function here with the name calculation main, and I use the arrow function to declare the body, and there I define the one text. In the app.js, we also need to export this uh, functional component in order to be visible outside of this, in order to be visible to other components. So in the app.js, we'll remove the text and we'll import the our new component calculation main. Now we'll define the code for for defining our input boxes. So our input boxes are visible now. Then we need to create buttons for addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. So I will create a functional component calculation button. So I'll so that button that I have defined in this functional component, I will reuse in the calculation main button. And this component I will reuse 4 times to define 4 operations that we can perform on the two numbers. Let's first import this functional component. So here the button has been defined 4 times. Now what we want to do is passing the uh, dynamic value to this calculate button so that we can reuse this calculate button component as per our requirement. So we will define one our parameters to this calculate button. Now we need to read this property in the calculate button. Like this calculate mean is the parent function and calculation button is the child component. So we want to access the property that has been defined in parent component. So in order to access the property defined in parent component, in the child component we use special keyword props that is provided by React, and we use the curly braces to provide the uh, curly braces to call the property name that is defined in the parent component. Now we need to define the uh, function that will be triggered on the click of the button. So on the button on click event, we are calling a new function. This function is defined here. And we are checking if the value passed from parent component is addition, then we will perform addition code, and repeat this condition for multiplication, subtraction, division. So here, as you can see, the button I have clicked, and it is is been checked correctly in the if condition. So now next step is to pass the input values from parent component into the button component. So in order to pass the value, we need to remember, we need to use we need to uh, we need to use useState hook. So in order to use state hook, we need to import it first. So use state hook, we need to, in this declaration, where we are calling use state, we are passing a blank parameter. This this value is called the initial value that being defined for the number, and it accepting two parameters, number 1 and set number 2. So now this value is called the current value, which will bind to the input box, and set number is to the set function that we will use to update this number value. We will see in a moment. So here we define we define two functions, number one handler and number two handler. Then that will be called on the change when the value of these text boxes has been changed. And in this function we are calling the set number one, that is a setter function used to update the value of number one that we have defined here, and we are getting the value from this function provided from the JavaScript, and here Priya is printing the number in order to check that the value is correctly printed. Same thing we are calling in this for number two handler. So let's check whether this code is working. So we are able to print the values correctly. So next step is to pass this two values to the child function, the calculation button, so that the uh, calculation operation can be performed on these numbers. So same we have value pass the value text, so same way we can pass the numbers here. Um, so in this if else condition we have retrieved the value from parent function and perform the respective operation like addition, subtraction, division, multiplication. So let's now check in the browser whether let's try with addition 34. So it is concatenating these two numbers. So we need to convert the input into a number. So I think the parse int is the function that will convert the input into the numeric number. So now the correct operation is being performed. Same thing we can replicate on other conditions. So we are able to perform all the four operations there: addition, subtraction, division, multiplication. Adding a little note here that I can also done some styling in the program and print the output on the UI instead of showing the console, but I just need to show it a simpler way. Thank you guys for watching the video. If you like the video, click the like button and let me know in the comment section or any feedback.